USA 5, Trinidad and Tobago 0 in our first Gold Cup match of the Gold Cup campaign. Obviously, not the result that we wanted, not the result that we expected. We know USA is a big team, but the hope was that this is a USA team that lost their last 4 games, and we are a Trinidad and Tobago team that just qualified for the next round of the World Cup. Now, I know we did lose our last game, but there was still a sense of confidence, and even the way we played in losing to Costa Rica, miles better than what we did today. Well, let's start off with the positives first, because there were definitely positives. Most of them in the second half. Of course, we conceded 3 goals in the first half. It was really a terrible first half, no disrespect, but it is what it is. And credit to Dwight York in the second half. He made substitutions. Andre Raymond coming on, pushing up Spicer a little higher up the pitch was also a good tactical change. And of course, I think the positive that everybody took out of this, Nathaniel James. What a performance from him. I mean, he came on and he was just a breath of fresh air. I mean, he was by far our best player on the day. I think probably barring Marvin Phillip, who had a really good game as well. And, really good. And, Dwight may consider him starting in the next game now. I know Levi Garcia will probably be back for the next game and he might be the choice. But, I mean, Nathaniel James has proved himself time and time again. Today, I mean, to come on with a deficit like today against the USA and to do what he did, very impressive. So those positives, as I said, Dwight York, good tactical changes in the second half. Of course, we still conceded goals, but there was an improvement, and Nathaniel James, brilliant. Now let's go into the negatives, which really do outweigh the positives. As you could clearly see, we lost the game 5-0. Now it's easy to just blame Alvin Jones, but I think that would be a bit unfair. Now, he did have probably one of the worst first halves he's ever had in his career. I mean, the first 3 goals, you could say he was directly at fault. And I mean, these things happen. We can't come down on Alvin. We know that usually he is the USA's kryptonite. Normally he's scoring bangers against them, assisting against them. And I mean, I don't want to give him the bly, because we're at a point in our journey, in our World Cup journey, where we have to be on point, especially we're talking about the defense over and over again. And we saw today, this was our worst defensive display that we've seen this year. I mean, as I said, 5 goals conceded, 3 goals in the first half, and 3 goals that could have really been avoided. So again, Alvin, we're not coming down on you, but it's just a point in time where we have to be really good, and you are one of the players that we are looking to. You are one of our most experienced players, one of our best players in terms of ability. And it was a bit disappointing, but these things happen, we understand, and we move on. But I mean, despite that, the defensive display really wasn't the best at all. Second half as well, I mean, I don't know if centre-backs got tired. Sheldon Batu for the 5th goal especially. Haji Wright, I believe, for the USA, just gliding into the box and kind of just guiding it into the far post. I mean, it really didn't look convincing. And the thing about it is we know that our defenders have the ability. Sheldon Batu, Alvin Jones, Shiggy, we know they're experienced. It's just something is lacking, and we have to figure that out. There's no real pressure on Trinidad and Tobago to win this Gold Cup. I think everybody's eyes are really focused on the World Cup. And if we are to qualify for that World Cup, we've been saying it all campaign long, we have to sort out that defense. Because as you could see today, you come up against a quality team, and USA haven't even been in the best of form, and you get 5 in your tail. Now, apart from the defending, it just didn't look convincing from us today at all. The midfielders, I think as well, it seemed as if their decision making was just off. And that's what I mean. I don't think the team is down and out. I don't think we lack the quality. Today was definitely an off day. Daniel Phillips has been in really good form. Kevin Molino has been in really good form as well. They just didn't seem to be able to hold on to the ball. I'm not sure if it's because of the press and the intensity of the US. It didn't look so, because the US didn't really look like they kicked into second gear. They looked pretty comfortable. And our guys, even when we got the ball in the midfield, it was like they were holding on to it too long, not releasing the passes early enough. And because of that, we weren't able to get the ball into our more dangerous players, the likes of Kevin Molino and these guys, to really progress that ball forward and create chances. I mean, at one point in time, it was like 19 shots from the US to our 1. We really didn't create much, and that transition between defense and attack, we just weren't able to hold on to the ball. And that was a big issue for us today as well. So again, something for Dwight to look back on. So we have to work on those things. And we just have to pay attention to that. Again, Marvin Phillip, excellent game. I know for the 4th goal, you probably could have done a bit better, but nobody is coming down on you because, to be honest, you kept the scoreline. Well, I can't even say respectable because it was still 5-0, but it could have been much worse if it wasn't for you, Marvin. But, overall, it has to be said, a very concerning performance, because this is the point in time where we have to be at our best. We have to be building momentum, using this World Cup to work on certain things in preparation for those World Cup games from September to November. And we have to expect a bounce back in the next game. We must see an improvement. Something has to change, something has to improve, as we saw from the first to the second half, because we can't regress. We can't regress, but as I said, all hope is not yet lost. It's still a good way away from those World Cup qualifiers later on in the year, although we don't want a repeat of this. We still have a lot of time to work on what we need to. We still have at least 2 more games in this tournament. As I said, we need to see the improvements, we need to see the adjustments, and even if we don't make it out of the group, we just need to see a change and Dwight and the guys moving forward. We have to dust off this one and on to the next group game. So, just to wrap it up, very concerning, but we move.